you were only 1 second off. I mean, you were pretty damn close there, Balls.
I was a quick count too.
Yeah. It was a quick count, fast count. We used to have that show on the site.
We did.
But we got rid of it.
We deleted it.
Delete. Yeah. I am Mo Lightning. He is Balls. Thank you for streaming us at all the usual spots at Wrestling Audio on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Your comments welcome. Even if you're watching it on demand, that's all right. You can react and interact with us after the fact. And who the hell's to my left?
I don't know. He has a name tag, though.
Yeah. Greg.
I'm not here very often.
Greg the video guy.
Yeah, wait. Is this is why we've never allowed you to be on camera before, because oof.
No.
Gregg the Sound Guy making his video debut. Welcome, sir.
Here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to be
you were worried. You were kind of pushing off on this a little bit over the last couple of weeks. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scheduling.
And the whole webcam thing. I mean, look at his great backdrop. Look at how much he decorated for the show today.
I know. I can see.
Well, it's my basement.
Your basement is not as dark and damp as I expected.
It's a triple threat underground.
No, it's not a dungeon or a raw underground.
I don't know. I kind of just expected it to be like one of those places that you see in the movies where like the girls are kidnapped and tied down. I just kind of expected one of those basements.
In all fairness to Greg's basement,
you're way off on that.
At an angle up, the girls could be tied down lower.
Yeah. Like an empty cot with a lot of stains on it, and like a video camera from the 80s propped up a few feet away.
Yeah.
Just a bottle of Aquafina.
He's using to record.
Was that bottle for your victims, or is that for you?
They all have to stay hydrated.
Okay. All right. Well, Greg, I want to welcome you to this video world, this live streaming world that Balls and I are now obviously pros at.
Obviously, I still point in the wrong direction. It's
obviously. So you're used to playing on one playground where you do like hopscotch. This is a whole new playground, my friend. All right. You don't F with us on this playground. We play like dodgeball and kickball and all that.
Why is it all going to be stuff that ends
I'm
in
good
ball?
at both those sports.
Laura wants to know what she just tuned into. I don't know. That's a mighty fine question. I really don't know. But we do have 6 things that we're going to cover here in a moment. Greg brought content with him today. So we're actually going to do something we've never done on a live stream before, thanks to Greg. And it has nothing to do with kidnapping or dank basements.
Okay, good.
That I'm aware of. So that, I've only watched the beginning part of what he has submitted. I have not finished it, so I don't know what's waiting at the end.
It's what we like to call plausible.
Well, I got a whole backstory to it. It's classic MWF videos.
And we'll explain why we're showing that, and we'll make fun of it heartily. And then after that, we toss it to Balls, who is going to help us with AEW predictions. We got what, All Out on Saturday?
All Out on Saturday. It's super weird to have a pay-per-view on Saturday again.
Yeah, and we got all these women freaked out. Gregg the Sound Guy shows up, and now all the women are scared.
Man, quit scaring the women away.
Damn it, Greg. He's got nothing. I don't know if it's the lag or if he just doesn't know what to say.
I think it's a little bit of both. Column A, column B. Yeah.
Shut up over there. All right. Yeah. And Balls is having drinking problems. All right, 6 things. Let's dive right in. 6 things on my mind. Wrestling Audio took it home, then ran away.
We did.
Now, Greg, I don't even think you realize, Balls and I were having a talk about this earlier this week. Just about 3 days ago, we officially announced Wrestling Audio takes it home. A year ago.
Yeah, I know. It was about a year. Yeah.
So anybody wondering what the hell we're talking about, we have been doing this site. We're just weeks away from 15 years now of doing this site. And It had been, I wouldn't say tedious, just because that's the wrong term. I think we all still enjoy talking this stuff, but the time that goes into the site and everything was starting to add up. Families and jobs got in the way, so we decided that we were going to announce our farewell tour, where a lot of wrestlers will be like, okay, this is my last stretch, my contract's up. They kind of announced this. So we announced that Wrestling Audio was going to be done, that we're going to give it a year, and on 15, we're going to call it quits. Unless something happens and inspires us to keep going. Like, I don't know, we had this brilliant idea. If we get like a break, an opportunity, if somebody pays us, if Gregg the Sound Guy confesses to his murders, whatever.
Gregg the Sound Guy is the Marty Jannetty of Wrestling Audio.
Hey,
look at that.
I resent that.
Look at that.
Look at
That's
that.
that's on the side of a milk carton right there. You have to you have to go through some hazing. You haven't been on video yet.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I'm so upset right now.
He's like, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. So anyway, not long after we made this announcement of Wrestling Audio takes it home, which, by the way, if you're newer to wrestling, that's when the referee tells the wrestlers, the stars, the competitors, hey, take it home, means it's time to go to the finish. So not even long. I think it was a month and a half, 2 months after we made this announcement, changed the logo, like started really all getting the balls rolling. I was introduced to a certain WWE Hall of Famer, and one that actually wanted to do a podcast, and a podcast we turned into Table Talk that has been pretty successful over the time. I mean, this week we welcomed Sasha Banks onto the show. We've had Alexa Bliss on there. We've had all members of the New Day. I'm like, the list and the stars keep growing, and because of that, anybody wondering, we're not going anywhere. Wrestling Audio is still going to stick around because we have that life, that momentum. So thank you two for helping keep things going. I actually do feel guilty at times. I wish I could bring you guys onto the show too, to give you some, well, not Greg, but I wish I could bring you onto the show too, to help with, like Greg would spend half the show just arguing with Devon about like when things happened.
Honestly, I'd kind of pay to see that. Like, Devon would be like, no, it was my life. It happened at this point. And Greg's like, no, it happened in March.
No, because that was the pay-per-view. After that, and like Greg would argue with Devon, and Devon likes to talk. I mean, I would just be here.
No, this is
the time. All right, guys. This is not table arguing. This is table talk. But we're not going anywhere. But I am looking forward to celebrating 15 years. And Greg, did you ever think we would still be doing this?
Oh yeah, not a doubt.
Whoa, he's like talking while drinking. He's got like this ventriloquist shit going on. Yeah.
Gargle, gargle, gargle.
So anyway,
well, honestly, no, not really. I mean, the first website lasted about a year, so that we tried.
And what was that site, Greg?
Ultra PW.
There
I wouldn't go to it though. I think it's a malware site now. I let the domain name expire. So
okay, all right.
So I wouldn't go to that original website. I think it's malware now.
Yeah.
What about hostomania.co?
I haven't been to that one in a while, so that's who knows what that is.
Gregg the Sound Guy with tons of brilliant ideas over the years. He actually has had good ones, but video, I don't think was one of them, was it?
I think I suggested video a long time ago.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Mo, this is a great idea. Let's do video. You make it happen, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm the Vince Russo of Wrestling Audio. I throw the ideas out there. 1 out of 100 might stick.
And it's up to everyone else to make it work.
I can mold them. Yeah, I mean, all right, yeah. But speaking of bad ideas, though, and Ballz, you'll appreciate this because this is usually the low blow. Juggalo blow.
I want to put on record, I don't know what any of this means, but I love it.
No, you shouldn't love this because Gregg the Sound Guy's texting me about his video and everything and sending me way too much stuff about juggalos. Greg, why are you sending me so much crap about juggalos today?
Well, because that's going to set up this match coming up that we're going to review.
Seriously, like, just, and here's a link to, like, all stuff I didn't ask for.
Greg is the malware of Juggalo.
That's very true. That's very true. Everybody prepare. We got Juggalo stories coming up apparently during the video. Lucky us. You're the one that lives close to them, so good luck to you, Greg. All right. Third thing, the beast in his car and left instead of the beast on it. You get it?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. I get it.
Greg's dumbfounded. He doesn't even know what's going on.
No, he's just frozen. It's fine.
Frozen in awe. Wow, that's brilliant. All right.
We're all about puns on the low blow here, Greg. And sometimes if they need explained to you, it's even better.
Yes. Yeah. So the beast in his car and left is a free agent, technically. WWE contract wrapped up, and I'll start with you, Balls. Is he going back to UFC? Does any other company like AEW have a chance? Is WWE going to bring him back? What's his future?
I don't know. First of all, I'm just shocked they let it expire. Like, I mean, I assume there were negotiations or what have you, but the fact that we never really heard about it or anything is pretty shocking to me. Like, I figured they had Lesnar locked up for like I knew they were doing 5-year deals. I figured Lesnar was locked up for at least good for another couple years.
Or like a Undertaker 17-year contract.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're Brock Lesnar, you're the highest paid person in the company, allegedly, working the least amount of dates, pretty factual. Where else are you going to go for that type of deal? Like, why even leave? So I'm interested to see where he's going. I don't think AEW is an option. I think it would be very interesting if it was. UFC, I know there was talk about him doing a match since I don't follow UFC, but I know someone recently just called him out. So like that could lead to something, but I mean, I doubt it's going to be UFC because if we all remember when he got stuff for not steroids, but the mixture, the drinks and all that stuff he got busted for, I don't think he's ever actually served that. So he would have to come back to UFC, serve his suspension, then do something. So I don't think it's UFC. I think most likely WWE will realize they need him for something and bring him back.
Greg, is there anything you want to add to that?
I read Jericho saying that WWE won't basically let Lesnar go anywhere. Whatever offer he's given from somewhere else, Jericho feels that he will, Vince McMahon will double the offer, up the offer to keep him from going anywhere else.
Makes sense.
According to what I read from, which makes sense. Which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the reason the contract expired, from what I understand, is just negotiations. Brock knows how to get more money out of people, and Vince is going to hold off. I could see him actually going back to UFC for a one-off fight, maybe.
Yeah.
We have Velasquez retired his ass, and then we got that retired his ass.
Retired his ass.
So I could see him trying to go back and ending on his own note, or try to go back and end on the note he wants. Mm-hmm. Spend that time serving the suspension finally from his steroid cocktail, as Balls was trying to say.
Yeah.
But I think it's only a matter of time before he goes back to WWE.
No.
I would love if AEW or somebody else could bring him in, because those would be shots fired, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Now, do you think, say he, serves his suspension, goes to UFC and loses. Do you think some of the mystique of Brock Lesnar is gone? Does it damage your rep more to go back and lose?
I think to some people, yes.
Punk lost twice.
I mean, at this point, I think Brock solidified what he's done in pro wrestling. So even if he does go back to UFC and loses again upon a return, I don't know if that's really gonna. I mean, to the UFC fans, maybe that ruins his mystique, but to wrestling fans, he can come back and dominate and hold that gold for another year and a half at any time.
That's true.
I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying it could happen.
It could happen. I don't think any of us want that, but it could happen.
I know a few people that are really big Lesnar fans. I think there's at least one guy I can think of right now that would be all for that.
I agree with you there.
And that's probably why I try not to talk to that guy. Yeah. Sixth thing on my mind, this is number 4 here, Strowman the Strong Man, and not just because he is a strong man. But no, I don't know if anybody saw it, the WWE Chronicle episode, Braun Strowman admitting that last year he was suicidal.
Oh, wow. No, I did not see this.
Greg, did you read that?
No.
Yeah, or see it. I mean, if you saw the episode. But he admits that the push, that he kept getting all this talk. Us fans were talking about how Braun Strowman was going to, should be this main eventer. And no matter what he was doing, he would plateau. He would be in that main event, never reach that brass ring. And it frustrated him to the point where he was suicidal, thought about taking his own life. And it took a heart-to-heart and as he described, a father-son sort of conversation with Vince McMahon to get him back on track. But you don't normally see 7-feet monsters, these 400 pounders, admitting that they're depressed and suicidal.
No, absolutely. That's a very strong man to admit and to talk like that. That's good. The more you put it out there, the better.
Yeah. So I'm proud of him for doing that and breaking the stereotype, breaking the mold. And here, September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So the timing of that is really good. If you have any issues, if you're down or depressed, reach out to us. Reach out to me or Balls. Greg's not available, but the rest of us are available to help you out.
Greg's available on a lag.
Yeah, Greg's available on a lag. And or if you're kidnapped and in his basement.
At that point, you just need to ask for more water.
This is why I didn't want to be on video, guys.
If you're depressed in Greg's basement, also reach out to us.
At least it's a well-lit basement if you're stuck there. So, all right.
It's a drop ceiling.
Sixth thing, number 5, live from nowhere, it's WWE. I say that because rumors going around that WWE may be limiting their live events once the world goes back to normal-ish, once touring can commence again. There's a lot of rumors that WWE may cut house shows, live events, only doing televised events. Greg, we'll start with you, Basement Boy. What are you thinking?
Well, it's what WCW did pretty much before they went out of business to help the bottom line.
Are you saying WWE is going to go out of business?
No, but anything's possible. Nobody thought WCW was going to go out of business until January of 2001. I'm sorry, that was ECW. March of 2001.
God, Devon would have a field day with you. What about you, Balls? What are you thinking about the idea of WWE cutting live events?
I could see them doing it. Definitely. I mean, I've been to some in my hometown. Like, thank you, Laura. She appreciates this because we're bringing, attention to the plight of Greg's basement. So I've been to some like local live events that they just don't draw in towns my size. So I could see why WWE may look at cutting something like this. Maybe they don't cut them all together. Maybe you only do the large televised markets and like a step below. But you don't come to Canton, Ohio, which is probably like 4 steps below. You'd cut these. Maybe just do your big cities and right below. And at least for a while until attendance gets better and it's safer and what have you. I think that I don't see an issue.
Until the economy bounces back too. There's a lot of people out of work right now. And it's good. You got to get out. You need to be entertained. You need to do some of these things with your families for sanity, but there's only going to be so much money to go around on this. So I think for a while, it's probably a good idea. And should they bring it back, I think really pay-per-views and live events should be the only places you get combined rosters.
Yeah. I agree.
Instead of doing a Raw show and a SmackDown show, make that the show where those stars collide and you can see them interacting where you can't on TV week to week. And that could actually pull in some money. That would pull in some business from wrestling fans for the chance to see some of their favorite stars interact again.
And yeah, just matches you don't get to see on TV. No, absolutely. I would agree with that. I mean, you look at the prices of renting a convention center. I can't imagine what they pay in trucking and that type of stuff to go all crisscross the United States constantly. There have to be a lot of cuts you could make wisely to help your bottom line in this situation, for sure.
I agree with that. So it'll be interesting to see if they do that or not. Obviously, for the time being, things will be different, but that's not news to anybody. Speaking of news, Gregg the Sound Guy is a dictionary nerd. I mean, Gregg the Lag Guy is a dictionary nerd. We toss it over to Gregg, who wants to give us his top news story of the week.
Jabroni is now in the dictionary. That's actually the second term that The Rock got into the dictionary.
And what was the first one?
SmackDown.
And when did that go in, Greg? The exact day and time?
I think it was approximately 10, 15 years ago. I don't know the exact.
10:15 Eastern time. No.
September 97.
Jabroni, now a term in the dictionary, which does have two meanings. If you haven't looked it up, one meaning is the dumbass, oh, what a jabroni. Yeah. And then they actually put the pro wrestling term in there that the guy's a bit of a jobber. So there's two definitions for jabroni in the dictionary.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. And it's funny that, Greg, you say that, The Rock's got his second thing. He wasn't even the first one that said jabroni.
No.
Right. Yeah. And Rock admits the Iron Sheik that he got the word from. He used to hear the Iron Sheik say it backstage when he was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, but The Rock's a little influential right now, so he's able to get things over. He can do anything. He can get more people are going to want COVID-19 now that he's had it.
I was going to say, it's funny that, him getting a phrase in the dictionary isn't the biggest Rock-related news story this week. Like, him and his entire family getting COVID, probably bigger than jabroni going in the dictionary right now. But
yeah, well, we wish him the best. There's a lot of big stars that have come out over the last couple of days about it. AJ Styles talked about how he's recovering from it. Kevin Nash, Super Shredder, as you may know him, he admitted that he had it, and there's probably even more. I'm not real. Batman, Sparkly Batman, Robert Pattinson has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
don't worry, kids. It's all safe to go back to production.
Everybody be safe. Yeah. Whatever you do, be safe. Otherwise, you end up with the Rona or in Greg's basement.
Do you have a panel van, Greg?
No.
Okay. Just wondering if you had the starter kit or not. Okay.
Do you think that was a lag-oriented no, or do you think that was oh, crap, I should think about it before I answer no?
He's like, no, my van has windows. They're just duct taped over. It's not a panel van at all.
I don't have free candy written on the side of mine. Greg, we love you, buddy. All right, so Greg has had this idea he's wanted to do for quite some time about. Do you want to describe it, Greg? Like what your vision was for the video we're about to watch and the whole idea behind it?
Well, it was almost 20 years ago now. I worked for a local independent promotion called the MWF, and got a lot of. I got a lot of the old tapes from it, and I'm
trying to do the MWF. Greg, keep going. Ignore us, buddy.
And I thought it would be cool to review some of these old tapes. Got a lot of stories behind a lot of them. The one that we have today, it's actually it's a match that features Sabu. See, back in 2001, This was the main event of our show, December Drink Fest, 2001.
December Drink Fest?
Yes, it's called December Drink because it took place at a nightclub in downtown Toledo, Ohio.
It sounds like a name of an event
So-
that Mo and I at our former rock station would have been at.
Well, it was a 21 and up show, so because it was at a nightclub.
Right.
So,
All right, so
back
this
in,
up.
yeah, so back in 01, as I mentioned earlier, ECW went out of business. So a lot of the ECW guys were looking for work, and we thought Sabu would be a cool headliner for our show. He was one of the top names at the time for ECW. At the time, he was working primarily for JCW, ICP's promotion. So when the promoter went to book Sabu, don't say that. I'm not saying anything negative about about ICP. Well, when we went to book him, his business manager. His business manager set us up. No.
Keep going, Greg.
His business manager set us up with ICP's business manager. So we were supposed to have ICP at the show as well. And what actually ended up happening was in the summer of 2001, they did their gathering, that yearly Juggalo gathering
Gathering
at
of
the convention center in
Juggalos,
Toledo. Yeah, it was the second ever one. I guess it ended not so well, where the city of Toledo really didn't. The city of Toledo wasn't too happy with how it ended. So when they got wind of us booking ICP, they set up, and the venue set up all these rules like no Fago, no face paint. Yeah. So
do they not know their audience?
Once ICP got wind of all these rules that were being set up, they said, well, we're not coming. And this was right before the show was supposed to start. Or a couple days before. So then we had to post on our website that, hey, they're not coming, but we still got Sabu. Day of the show comes, this tour bus shows up, and we're looking like, who ordered the tour bus? And sure enough, it was Sabu showing up on ICP's tour bus. So they ended up coming to the show. Oh, and Sabu and ICP played a rib on me too.
Can I stop real quick and say that I love that you just so casually say, who ordered the tour bus? Like it's a pizza.
Yeah, that's what we were like with this tour bus. We're like, who ordered the tour bus?
All right. So they pulled a prank on you, a rib?
They ribbed me because I was doing the lights and sound for the show because I wasn't actually booked for this show to wrestle. So we had to get music for Sabu. We had to find out what music Sabu wanted for. I'm sorry?
You're not even in the match?
I didn't hear you, boss. No, unfortunately not. Not this show. But you'll see my light work, though. I did the strobe lights. I did the lighting for the entrance.
You'll see my light work.
I'm going to grade the hell out of your light work when this happens.
I expect you to critique. Unfortunately, we don't have the audio for the entry. Unfortunately, we don't have the audio because it was copyrighted music. Because at that time you could get away with that. But we had to go to we had to find out what Sabu wanted for his entrance music. So I go into the locker. Me and the other dude that was doing it. We go into the locker room, and I didn't know what ICP looked like without their makeup because I never saw them without makeup. So I didn't even know that they were the ones ribbing me at the time. So we go up to Sabu and we're like, hey, this is the music. Well, what music do you want for your entrance? And then one of the two ICP guys are like, Britney Spears. So we kind of look at each other and we're like, really? He's like, yeah, Sabu wants Britney Spears for his entrance music. And then we're like, well, we don't have any Britney Spears. And then they're like, well, you better get some Britney Spears.
That's a lie. He had it, but anyway.
I was gonna say, what kind of sound
at
guy
this time
are
we
you?
didn't have streaming. There was no streaming. No Spotify. No stream. We just had our CDs. Those things that are being phased out.
You expect me to believe
and then the one dude that opened up the CD thing, he's like, well, we got Fiona Apple. And I look at him and I'm like, why do we even have Fiona Apple? And then Sabu's like, yeah, I want that. And we're like, okay. So we ended up playing Fiona Apple for Sabu's entrance music. And I wish we could play it. Yes.
That's the only one I know. Yeah.
Which one was it? Criminal?
Feeling like a criminal.
Yeah, that's the one
and everything.
Yeah, the entire music video is like her in her underwear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
So we ended. The conversation ended there.
Sabu one more time.
So the conversation. So we actually played. I didn't know if he really wanted it or not, but that's what he got.
Oh my God.
I like that, like they ribbed you, but I also feel like you kind of ribbed them because it was just like we're gonna play it.
So right. and then one more thing too. Since they announced that they weren't going to be on the show, then we got word that they were going to shoot in on the match, because when they showed up, we're like, yeah, you can hang out backstage, but the promoter's like, I'm not going to put you on the show because I don't have things set up for the last minute. And he didn't, for whatever, I don't know why he didn't want to change it or whatever to put him on the show. So then he had gotten word that they planned on shooting in on the match, that they just were going to crash the match basically. So right as Sabu was making his entrance, the promoter had ICP kicked out. Yeah.
Do we see the commotion on the video?
You see what you'll see in the video is right as Sabu comes in, his significant other, I don't know, wife, girlfriend, whatever, she was taking pictures for him, and she goes up to him and whispers something in his ear. And we think that she was telling him that they were just kicked out of the show. So the poor guy that he was wrestling got more than what he bargained for, because now he had to wrestle a not happy Sabu.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
On top of that, the guy that he was wrestling decided to change some spots without telling Sabu.
Oh, that sounds good.
One of the spots being a table spot that he was supposed to stay on the table, and he moved, which then made Sabu hit the table awkwardly, which now made him super irate Sabu.
All right. So this is old classic Midwest wrestling.
So this was our main event.
Yeah. Gregg the Sound Guy, you don't get to watch him job this time.
But
no, next time I'll get one of my videos.
I expect that in HD.
And we're gonna keep the volume a little bit low so you can hear all of us. Who's this Gambino?
Right?
That's Paco. He was our ring announcer.
Of course he is.
All right, so who's this? Look at that entrance. Look at that lighting.
This is big,
right?
I know that. Hey, lighting was all me. The person he's wrestling, this is Big Ryan Cool. He's a cool dude. I used to hang out with him at the time.
Awesome.
Real cool dude. Again, nerdy. He was in.
All right. Big Ryan nerd, you know.
Hey, this guy. This guy, in his mind, he was 8 feet tall and the toughest guy in the room.
He better be. He pissed Sabu off for no reason.
Man, this is like watching a Pokemon cartoon in 2005 here.
There's a lot of epilepsy happening.
And I apologize about the video quality.
Thank you for getting that, Balls.
This was recorded on a VHS tape, before HD. So it was the best I could record it at the time.
Did CIA
check out
stand
those
for
strobe lights? I think I did an excellent job.
My God. Like, did you get a career going at Spencer Gifts after this?
Oh, and the CIA on his shirt is the Canadian Invasion Association.
The Canadian Invasion Association? Oh, that's
yes.
So good.
So do we need to, what's he saying in this promo here?
It ends with A, though. I'm hoping it ends with A.
Keep in mind, this is a couple months after 9/11.
Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Greg, what kind of promo are you showing us?
Did you not learn Pueblo Digital is a family show?
This was 21 and up.
Yeah, but this our stream isn't 21 and up.
All right, so again, we had for copyright reasons, we had to edit out the music, so we don't actually get to hear Fiona Apple.
No, so Mo is gonna sing Fiona Apple for you.
No, but this is
like
so. Yeah, if you're watching this,
holding up the beer, all right, yeah. There's old Sabu and the crowd having seizures, all right.
Yeah.
So when you say you control the lighting, you just press the on button for the strobe light, or?
No, in my head,
I had a whole light board.
Yeah. They're actually saying Ryan cool, Ryan cool.
Ryan cool, Ryan cool.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Yeah, he was the heel in the match, and he ended up getting the crowd to turn on Sabu, which.
Okay. All right.
So
sounds like a giant train wreck.
Right here, right there.
Okay.
Right there. That's when he's being told that ICP won't be coming out for the match.
I have a feeling I know who this Cody fella is, and he's got a very legit question.
It took me a second, so I'm glad I didn't give my original answer.
All right, so did you pick that lighting too, Greg?
Or is that,
yeah, I did all the lighting for this show.
Do you not like to light the ring?
No, those are very specific.
I thought this was kind of, I thought this fit the match.
Oop, something important.
So I'm sure those are very stiff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, boss, didn't hear you.
I said something important was supposed to happen there because God is shining down.
Yeah, turn it down a little bit so we can hear each other a little bit better. All right, so all of this seems okay. I mean, that good selling, or did he just hit him a little hard there, Greg?
He probably could have been a little stiff there, but I think it's all right here. The table spot, when he moves off the table, he runs out into the crowd because he's to the point where he's thinking Sabu's going to kill him. So he actually runs out into the crowd. Now, Sabu's business manager was actually out in the crowd where he ran into, was an older lady at the time. And she starts hitting him. You don't see it on camera, unfortunately. She starts hitting him with her cane, telling him to get back into the ring. Unfortunately, you don't. It's too far in the back. You don't see it in this video. But that's what happens after the table spot.
I have to question the logic of any independent wrestler who goes into business for themselves against a brought-in celebrity like headliner.
I'm more extreme than he is.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Cool. Sabu almost didn't catch him.
He probably didn't want to.
Sabu was like, they tried to pay me in cartons of Faygo, so I'm done.
Was that all 9 minutes?
Did you put?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. Did it not work?
I don't know. Greg sent me this crap. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. This is what we get for not testing the.
Guinea pigs, you know.
I guess that's what we get for not
guinea
testing.
pig too. I can try again. Let me see. Let me see if I can redrop this. Worth a shot anyway, fellas.
Yeah. I want to see Sabu get really pissed at a guy for changing a table spot.
All right. Let me see if I can.
Where is Big Ryan Cool now?
Screen. Chrome tab. Share.
It's been probably 10 years
I'm
since
just listening to the match,
so
guys. Don't mind
sure.
me.
Yeah, no, we're not. I'm trying to ask Greg where the Ryan Cool guy is now. And he apparently hasn't.
It's been 10 years since I talked to him.
They were allegedly tight.
No, he's a real cool dude. We were good friends.
That's the remix. All right, so I don't think that's working anymore, fellas. But, but we know the capabilities there.
The capability works.
Well, it's we had to try it for the first time to see if it would work. I'll tell you what, I'll get the video. I'll get the full video posted on the wrestling audio video section on the site.
Okay.
So, okay, for MWF, let me ask this. Who is in your opinion, the biggest name that you guys brought in as a headliner for a show?
I guess that's what's your definition of a big? I probably at the time Al Snow, because Al Snow was under contract with the WWE, so he would have been the biggest guy at that time, being the only under contract WWE guy.
For sure.
Let's see. I'll run down a list and you tell me. We had Greg the Hammer Valentine, Brutus Beefcake, Virgil. Mo Lightning's got some stories about Virgil.
I was going to say.
Tatanka, King Kong Bundy, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Keep in mind, this was 20 years ago, so a lot of these guys were from the early 90s and 80s. That weren't, because Al Snow. So,
all right,
off the top of my head, that's all I can remember right now.
It's really not bad lists. I mean, it was all pretty good names, but not enough Gregg the Sound Guy jobbing.
No,
we always tried to book one big name to be in our main event.
Yeah.
So then we had something to put on the flyer.
Of course, yeah. That's what should have been on the flyer.
Yeah.
When I'm really disappointed in you guys that you didn't market ICP and then change what ICP stood for, where it was like ICP and then it was like ice cream party, and then it was a false advertisement because you actually did have an ice cream party.
We had posted it on our website. The when ICP was originally going to be on the show, we posted it on the website, and then after we had posted it is when we got all the rules that they couldn't do. The no face paint, no Faygo, no this, and then that's when they were like, well, this isn't worth our time if we're not allowed to do what we're known for. So I don't blame them for not showing up or not being but it was just we weren't expecting them to show up. We weren't expecting them because they said they weren't coming, and then they show up on their tour bus with Sabu. It was just unexpected since they said they weren't coming.
Them running in would have sold you tickets to your next event. Like anything, like Well, okay, was there a next event?
Yeah. We didn't go under till 02.
Okay.
WCW.
The look Mo gave me was like.
And the other thing too is when it got wind that we might have them, there was a police chopper over top the building, because I remember walking out of the building, seeing the police chopper over top the building. We had there was just like police and SWAT all over the area because of what happened just 6 months prior, because this club was actually just 1 block away from the convention center. So it was still fresh in city officials' minds about what happened at that gathering. So once they got wind and that was the problem, is they set all these ground rules that, I mean, it wasn't worth their time to show up, but then they showed up anyway.
Because they had no other plans. Like
nothing else going on.
Apparently not.
Yeah. No one else booked us. We have a tour bus. We might as well go take Sabu.
Who ordered the tour bus?
It's ICP Uber.
Yeah.
Boy, I hope they brought pizza on that tour bus. I just imagine all the conversation going on. Who's on the tour bus? I don't know. Do you know who's on the tour bus? I don't know. I'm too busy listening to Britney Spears.
And acknowledge I don't have it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Greg. It was a great idea to try to get the video going. Sorry that we couldn't finish it, but
maybe we'll have to do shorter video. Again, I'll get the video posted on the Wrestling Audio video page. I'll get the whole video posted.
Yeah. So with that, we move over to the last segment of the show. Balls, AEW.
Coming out all out on Saturday, pay-per-view.
Look at your shirt. Yeah. So I like it. If you weren't wearing a shirt underneath, you could show like some nipple. You could be like,
I also I have no arm muscle at all, so it looks stupid. So that's why you wear a shirt under.
That's true.
It's true that it looks stupid, or it's true that I have no arm muscle.
Yes.
So all out Saturday. Let's start with the buy-in. I think the only match announced that I know of so far for the buy-in is the tooth and nail match, Britt Baker versus Big Swole. I can't even get it up. Nope, it's too tight.
That's usually not a problem. Wrong button. All right, go ahead.
So allegedly, tooth and nail match is going to take place in Britt's dentist's office. Obviously, a more cinematic quality than, AEW has done recently. More towards really what WWE's done during this quarantine in a couple of their matches. Probably
better than the MWF video I just showed.
I mean, not better lighting, though.
Yeah, I know. You can't beat my lighting skills.
No. It goes GFW, Greg. Where it is. And then
priority,
So to you guys, who do you see winning this for Britt Baker and Big Swole? And maybe even a bigger question, with all the buildup between Swole and Britt Baker in the last month or more, does it feel like it's been cast off on the pre-show? It feels all this buildup, and now it's it's on the buy-in. All right,
it makes me wonder if they're doubting their cinematic experience, that they really like the idea, but they're not quite sure if it's going to be as sellable on their product as WWE has sold their cinematic matches. So that's my initial reaction, especially because there are matches on this card that I would bump down to the pre-show and move this up on the main card.
For sure. Normally, the Battle Royal's on the buy-in, but I kind of like that the Battle Royal's on the actual pay-per-view this time. But there are definitely some matches on here that you could be like, oh, that's buy-in worthy. You could do that. If the whole point of the buy-in is to get you to buy the pay-per-view, and if you don't have faith in your cinematic experience, maybe that's not the best way to do about it either. So I don't know.
That's so overall,
who are you picking? Who do you think? Dr. Britt Baker or Big Swole?
I would hope with the surrounding that it actually gives Britt a little bit of an advantage on this one. I think everything. Britt's great. She's going to get herself over, but I think a lot of this has built Swole up to be this bigger competitor. But I think it's Britt's time. It's Miss Baker's time to get a little bit of love back. So I think she's going to, with home field advantage, I think she's going to get this win.
Greg?
I'll go with the doctor.
Greg's not much for explanations and or new people that weren't wrestling before 2001.
Okay, so
on TV that he watches.
Hey,
it's like,
I've been watching WWE main event from 2012 for a little while, and I got tired of the same match over and over again. So
Zack Ryder and Paul London, let's do this.
I'm like,
you're close, Zack Ryder and Antonio Cesaro.
Ooh, Antonio.
Ooh.
I always forget that he had a name, a full name.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Britt Baker. I feel like the home field advantage, all it's going to do is, and obviously you have Rebel with Baker is going to make an appearance. He's just going to do more and more to build Big Swole up. So I'm picking Britt Baker as well. Now we'll do the Casino Battle Royal.
Okay.
21 entrants. We do not have them all yet. So the ones we do know based on segments that have happened on the show: Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, Butcher, Blade, Eddie Kingston. Any of those guys jump out at you, or do you think it's going to be someone else? Who do you think the winner gets an AEW World Championship match?
Which to me means like Brian Cage is primed for it, but Brian Cage already won that to kind of move up the card, and it didn't seem to happen. So I'm reluctant to call him to win another one of these big random matches.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think Darby Allin is like right in there too, but he's in a really more personal feud with Ricky Stark. So I think that kind of eliminates both of them.
And we don't believe they've announced all of the stars in this one, right?
No, because there's 21 announced. And like on the last episode of AEW Dynamite, Billy, Austin Gunn were basically the sides of the ring. Everyone watching ended up getting in the ring to fight. And there were a bunch of local jobbers and jabronis, as I learned.
Bringing it back around.
I feel like there should be a siren every time we say jabroni or something.
What?
So, I mean, obviously the stakes are high, but who do you think gets this? Do you think Lance Archer and Brian Cage obviously have to be two of the standouts?
I guess, is it an immediate shot? Do we know? Is it like Money in the Bank? They get to hold it over the champ for a while?
I don't know. I don't know if there's like a cash in or if it's like the next pay-per-view thing. I don't think they've said that.
Okay. Because that's a part of it too, because you got to look at the main event then between Moxley and MJF and kind of figure out who you think champion's going to be. Because I can't imagine a heel wins the buy-in or this battle royal and MJF wins it on later on, heel versus heel. I can't imagine AEW does that. I think we're going to get shocked. I think like an Austin Gunn is going to get this victory. That's my official pick. I think this is going to be like one of those holy crap moments. Austin just won it. Oh my God, Austin with the bear truck. Austin Gunn with the bear truck.
You just want JR to be like, Austin Gunn. Austin Gunn.
That would be great. So when we talk about Austin Gunn, he's not one of the smoking guns, Greg.
No. He's the son of the smoking gun.
He's not the third smoking gun?
No.
That's disappointing because Billy Gunn's there. They could have brought Bart Gunn back.
They still can. Don't hold out hope.
Still could. Technically, there's probably like at least 10 more slots in this Battle Royal.
Yeah. Greg, we know you're not. Greg, you've been watching some AEW, haven't you?
I was misled. I thought
not recently.
He was watching. Okay,
I was watching it until they had to go. Oops.
Go ahead. I'll mute Balls. Go ahead, Greg.
I was watching it until they had to go to the no crowd shows.
Okay. So you actually know some of these names.
I'll say the no crowd shows is actually, I think, when AEW kind of started to flourish. I was going to describe like Darby Allin, half face paint.
Oh yeah. I know Darby Allin. Yeah.
I'm picking Phoenix. I think Phoenix is super talented. I'm going to go with Phoenix.
I like that city. It's a good city. Greg, who you picking?
You said there's open slots, right?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna pick one of the open slots. Somebody that hasn't been announced yet. That's who I'm gonna go with.
Open slot 8.
8. He gets 8. Yeah. Writing it down. Slot 8.
Open slot 8.
If Dark Order guy number 8 wins this, I'm gonna lose my crap. Just gonna throw that out.
Damn it, Greg.
Speaking of Dark Order, 4-on-4, Dark Order versus Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, and QT Marshall. All fighting for the honor of Cody Rhodes and the Rhodes family against the Dark Order, who beat the living tar out of Cody and Brandy and Arn Anderson.
Dark Order's on fire right now.
What's that?
Dark Order's on fire right now. And a month ago, I would have never believed that. So I got to give it to them. I say they remain a cohesive unit. There's just a miscommunication somewhere in the Rhodes camp there, and Dark Order continues their momentum.
That's what I'm going with too. I feel like even with that group of guys, I'm not going to lie to you, QT Marshall's getting pinned. I'm just going to throw that out there.
He sounds like a cutie, by the way.
He does. He's a QT Marshall.
Yeah, because his initials are QT, Greg.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, okay. Greg is so still on camera. It's like, it throws me off because I don't know if he's frozen or if he's just not breathing.
If anything, just kind of rock back and forth a little, just so you know the screen's not frozen.
Hey, this is how I used to record the audio shows.
You got to liven up a little bit. It's video there, buddy.
Yeah. You do realize there's a camera on, right? Like, I just want to throw that out there.
You do look like an amateur porn director. The hat and earpieces. That's what you got to look like.
Oh.
Does anybody else see this? Come on. Anybody else see this? He looks like he should be like telling people, okay, you need to give it to her harder. Greg's like, yeah, I'm never doing this again.
No, it's like my family is watching.
Greg, Dark Order is kind of like the Ministry of Darkness, but eliminate the good people, and it's more like Naked Midian and Viscera.
It's true.
I was thinking of the Brood.
Matt Cardona is a lot like Zack Ryder. Dustin Rhodes is a lot like Goldust. QT Marshall is a lot like
cutie. He's a cutie.
I'm gonna go with Crash Holly.
No, he's Tyson Tomko.
Scorpio Sky is a lot like it is Greg's superpower.
Hey, Ballz. Do the Greg pose. I see. I even have to blink too soon. I mean, it's.
I was gonna go grab a hat. Like.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't move on until you pick a winner, Greg.
I'll go with the Dark Order.
Dark Order.
Nice
Right.
hat.
It's the only hat I have ready to go.
It's over there. Young Bucks. This came off of AEW Dynamite. Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Where Mo, you had mentioned that you didn't see like a heel versus heel match. They sure love to do face versus face matches. Oh yeah, damn. Young Bucks, Jurassic Express.
Oh, there's got to be Jurassic Express. Build the young talent. Give me that Luchasaurus. Ooh,
yeah. No, I'm going with the Young Bucks. I feel like They have to win this.
I'll go with Jurassic Express.
Greg agrees with me. I
Can't beat Luchasaurus.
Okay, let's do this here. Ready for a match that we aren't really sure what it is yet. Broken Rules. Oh, also, if Matt Hardy loses, he's leaving AEW. I do remember that aspect of it. So, Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara, Broken Rules. If Hardy loses, he's done.
Well, Matt Hardy did say he didn't sign a long-term contract, right? Like, he had been telling people for a while, I believe, that it was just a temporary run in AEW,
Really?
so this may not guarantee a victory for him.
I don't know. I did not hear that. I assumed you confused Matt Hardy and Matt Cardona. But
Well, that too.
no, I don't know. I feel like the loophole is that Matt Hardy leaves and comes back as one of his other 12 personalities.
And do you give Guevara such a big win after all the controversy just a couple months ago, his suspension? I mean, you got to move on at some point, but
Yeah.
Is this the point?
No, I don't know. I feel like Matt Hardy gets this win back as of Sammy Guevara keeps injuring him. So this is Matt Hardy's chance to win against Sammy Guevara decisively. So
Okay.
I'm going to go Hardy. I feel like Sammy Guevara ends up winning the feud at some point, but right now I'm going to go Hardy.
It's Guevara. I'm calling Sammy. I'm calling Sam the man to win this one. He's going
I'll go
to
with
have
Hardy.
such a decisive victory. It's going to be like he's raping Matt Hardy. That's in reference to what got him. Never mind, people. Never mind. Greg, what's your pick?
I said Hardy.
Oh, we don't pay attention to you.
It must have been lag.
Yeah. We'll just blame lag for everything from now on. Okay, let's go. The women's, the AEW Women's World Championship. Shida versus NWA champion Thunder Rosa, who I thought had a really good match on Dynamite Wednesday night. I thought the match was really good. Got to show her off for audiences that were unfamiliar for her, because I don't watch NWA. So who do you think is winning this? Is AEW's champ retaining in Shida, or is the NWA champion going to end up being two belts Thunder Rosa? You're both just going to sit there and make it sound like
I'm trying to perfect the Greg.
Mo's doing it on purpose. Greg's just like,
What's going on? You shut up over there. Let's talk.
I'm gonna go with the double count out.
That's what happens when you run the predictions and you don't give rules to Gregg the Sound Guy.
I did for 15 years. I didn't know I had to still.
You do. Don't give. Greg's like that dog that's on a leash. Do not let him out without that leash. Otherwise,
Okay,
he's gonna.
I say double count out.
Well,
Hey,
double
you
count
laugh at
out.
me now. Watch it be a double count out.
Well, then in a double count out, I imagine Shida retains her title. So in the long way around, you're picking AEW champion Shida.
Just because I don't want to agree with Mr. Director, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Thunder Rosa as the dual champion, and frankly, I think that's probably a good thing.
I think it's a good thing too. My whole issue is I'm gonna go with Shida, but my logic is the fact that the women's title has been hot potatoed recently. I feel like none of the champions have gotten an actual good run with it. Like they've kept it away from Britt, injury or whatever, but I can't name a women's champion that has had a substantial run that I feel like has meant something. So hopefully Shida gets to keep it and do something with it. I
agree, but I disagree.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. AEW World Tag Team Championship. Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page versus FTR. If we've seen recently, Hangman Page recently kicked out of being the Elite. He's no longer Elite. Omega distanced himself on Dynamite. FTR basically said that, Hangman got himself in his own head. They didn't do anything wrong. He got himself in his own way and cost the Young Bucks their chance at the title. So Hangman's like a man on an island at this point, an alcoholic man on an island. Then we have Omega. You can't lean that far back and do the Gregg. It has to be up.
Well, sure you can. I feel like Mo and I's having like one of those staring contests where we see who breaks first.
Greg's trying to be Ball's trying to be professional here, and Greg's just tuned out. Me, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I don't either, to be honest with you. FTR.
I don't want to pick the FTR, but I'm going to pick the FTR because the other two are just, well, Hangman's just kind of crazy right now, and Omega's kind of teasing the heel thing. I mean, I don't know. I do not want to see, it's a side note, but I do not want to see a new Horseman stable with FTR in it. No, don't do that.
I don't either. I am picking FTR.
Either.
I feel like FTR wins. This sets up Omega versus Hangman. I feel like it can be so personal. Omega goes heel. Hangman is sympathetic. The crowd, he's trying to redeem himself. Crowd's behind him. I feel like Hangman has that now. And it could really be the feud that brings Omega up to where everyone kind of thought he would be in the company originally. Could do wonders for Hangman Adam Page. And FTR gets to be a champion and then go on to feud with, we have Santana and Ortiz. You have the Lucha Brothers. So many great tag teams for FTR to mix it up with that they haven't gotten to yet. So I'm going with FTR.
Yeah. 2 votes. Gregg?
FTR is the revival, Gregg. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Just making sure. So
who'd you pick, Gregg?
He picked FTR.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I'm only paying half attention to Mr. Director.
All right. So, Mimosa Mayhem.
Yes.
The champion, Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy. Pin, submission, throwing your opponent in a giant vatch of orange soda with booze in it. Apparently.
That's so amazing. Like, I know some people think it's a really dumb stipulation. I think it's brilliant. You got Orange Cassidy. You got the guy all about the bubbly. I mean, like, these are worlds colliding that you can't get anywhere else. To me, this is a brilliant match, and this alone sold me on the pay-per-view.
I'll tell you right now. I mean, it's one of those matches that would never make sense a year ago. Like, it has to take Le Champion doing the bubbly, making that work, making it a thing, building it, selling actual bubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Orange Cassidy coming along, you bring the orange in it. There just happens to be a drink that features both of those. And it's great.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Great. I'm calling Orange Cassidy. I think Jericho will job. Many people would, I don't think it's really jobbing, but I think there is a certain demographic of people that don't feel like Jericho should ever lose to Orange Cassidy. But I feel like Jericho will put Orange Cassidy over because Jericho can survive.
I'm gonna pull a Gregg on this one here, sort of, kinda. So because it's not just a dunk your opponent, Jericho wins, but still ends up in the mimosa.
Oh, okay.
That he wins by like a pinfall over Orange Cassidy, brags too much. Orange Cassidy and his best friends come in, dunk him, kick him, something, throw him into the vat of mimosa. So we still get that moment, but Jericho gets the win.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, why even
I think you're right on that one.
Why even put pinfall or submission in that match, you know?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, you have an Inferno match where somebody has to hit the fire. You don't like pinfall or submission.
And fire.
Yeah, it's, you know. So I think that's the out. Jericho wins, but he still gets dunked, and we still got that great highlight.
Pinfall, submission, and escaping Gregg's basement.
Yeah.
Only ways to win.
That's a big stipulation there.
And you win your freedom. Let's be honest.
Yeah. He's even got like the director neck beard going on there.
Okay. Main event, I'm assuming. AEW World Championship match. Jon Moxley versus MJF. Paradigm Shift is banned. Which Moxley proved in the last event against Brody Lee. He doesn't need the Paradigm Shift to win. So I get why MJF did it because it gives him a perceived advantage, but it's not really necessary, really. But MJF, bragging, he's going to be around the next 25 years, face of the company. This is when it starts. I don't know. Where do you guys thinking?
I'm torn on this one because.
Right?
Go ahead, Greg.
Moxley's the baby face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then I'm going with Moxley.
Wow. A straight answer. No complications or anything. Wow. Just.
No.
Okay. So now we know.
Yeah, because they had Jericho as a heel champion for a while.
Right. Okay. So you just want to keep that face momentum going.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking based off the research Greg's done, I feel like vacant person number 8 is a heel to win the Battle Royal.
Okay. All right. I want to call MJF, but if you look at the rules, the unwritten rules of pro wrestling, which we covered that eons ago on this site, MJF's got all the momentum going into the pay-per-view with him bloodying up Moxley and everything, which by definition, Moxley retains.
That is very true. I say Moxley retains this one. I do feel like there hasn't been a lot of interaction between Moxley and MJF, where the feud almost came out of nowhere, where MJF was holding up his own end of it with like, I challenge you. It's a big thing. It's like an election. And, they didn't even start interacting until recently. So it's like, there's just not enough heat on it, to me, at least.
Yeah.
For the title to change hands yet. So I'm going to go with Moxley as well.
Okay. All right. I'll be rooting for MJF.
Yeah, I think MJF would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But Moxley, I mean, he's too popular right now, and I don't know. Like maybe down the line, maybe if this feud continues, MJF gets it, like you said. But I think right now it's
I almost wonder, like, depends where you put it on the. Depending on where you'd put it, I assume it's the main event. But if it wasn't, I mean, imagine it happening early, and MJF loses, enters the Battle Royal, wins the Battle Royal.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah, exactly, and that's what's fun about this pay-per-view and pro wrestling is you never know what to expect. Right, Greg?
Sure.
It's even look at that creepy smile. Look at it. Look at that.
Greg is never going to do video with us again.
Greg, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? You want to defend yourself?
There's no point.
Almost 15 years on the side. Greg's smart enough to know that. That's
yeah,
true.
There's no point. And then what you go, Mo controls the graphics and the camera. Yeah, there's no point in really fighting back in this.
Right. There's no point.
I don't control the lighting though, so
no, that's true.
Greg's got that on us. Damn it, Greg. Greg, you're welcome back anytime, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.